In this video, I'm going to do a step-by-step beginner tutorial on how to trade futures on the Toobit crypto exchange. If you're still relatively new to the platform and you want to learn about the basic functions, like how to deposit some crypto or how to trade on the spot market, I did make a separate tutorial for that, and I'll be sure to leave a link to that video in the description down below for anyone that might find that helpful. In this video, I'll be focusing on futures trading. I'm going to show you how to internally transfer your assets from your spot account and into your futures account. Then I'll take you into the futures market and show you the different pairings, as well as get you familiar with the user interface. After that, I'll explain the funding rate, how to change your margin mode, and how to adjust your leverage. Then I'm going to demonstrate trades going long and short, using market orders, limit orders, and how to set up take profits and stop losses as well. All of that and more with some tips and tricks along the way. If you're creating an account on Toobit, I left you a link in the description of this video as well as in the pinned comment down below. Toobit is often running promotions for people who are signing up for the first time. These can be nice deposit bonuses, giveaways, mystery boxes, airdrops, and more. Also, anybody that uses my link when creating their account is going to get VIP level 2 trading fee discounts. This means that you'll save 30% on all your trading fees anytime you execute a market order on the futures market, and you'll save 20% on all your trading fees anytime you execute a market order on the spot market. You'll save even more in fees when using limit orders, and you're going to be supporting my channel at no extra cost to you. So feel free to use that link when you're creating your account. This video is not financial advice and is for educational purposes only. Always do your own research before ever using a crypto exchange, including Toobit. I also left you some timestamps in the description down below, so at any point feel free to skip ahead to a section that might be most relevant to you. Aside from that, don't forget to leave me a like and hit subscribe for future content. Let's get into the video. If you click on my link in the description of this video or in the pinned comment down below, you'll be redirected to this page here. Here's where you can proceed to create an account by simply using an email or a phone number. Come up with a good password, make sure to read through the terms of service, and if everything looks good to you, check these boxes here and then click on create an account. I'll also point out over here on the left-hand side that there is currently an exclusive promotion that is running for anybody that uses my link when creating an account. You can get 30,100 USDT in welcome bonuses. The more you deposit, the more you trade with, the more in bonuses you'll receive. You can use these bonuses to place additional trades, and the profits are yours to keep. Now, this promotion could be different by the time you're watching this video. But I'll also mention that anyone that uses my link when signing up is also going to qualify for VIP level 2 trading fee discounts. This means anytime you place a market order on the futures market, you'll save 30% on all your trading fees. Anytime you execute a market order on the spot market, you'll save 20% on all your trading fees. You'll save even more in fees if you use limit orders, and that's for the lifetime of your account. And anybody that uses my link is going to qualify for that. So you're going to get those trading fee discounts, and then you'll have access to whatever the current promotion might be by the time you're watching this video. At the time of making this video, KYC was not necessary to create an account with Toobit and to use the platform. But that could change in the future. So I'll quickly show you where to go to get verified just in case it becomes necessary by the time you're watching. To get this done, we'll come up here top right hand side to the profile icon. In this drop down menu here, we'll click on identification, and alternatively, you can click here on security settings. At the top of this page here, we'd click here on identification. And here's where we can begin the KYC process, which stands for Know Your Customer. Now, during this process, you will have to submit a government issued document, such as a driver's license or a passport. So you'll have to take a photo of that document and upload it to Toobit for them to verify your identity. Now, as I mentioned, at the time of making this video, this isn't necessary, but just in case that's become necessary by the time you're watching, what you would do is you'd click on Verify Now next to Basic Verification. Then choose the country that issued your document by clicking on this box here and selecting it from this drop-down menu or searching for it in the search bar right here. Then put in your last name as well as your first name and choose the certificate type that you wish to use. And just click next to the document you wish to use. So for example, I can click here next to driver's license. Then you'll need to put in the certificate number of that document into this box here and then click on Submit. On the next step, you're going to have to upload a photo of that document and submit it to Toobit for verification. Once it's verified, they'll let you know and you'll be all set. So if anybody needs to get verified, now's a good time to pause the video, get verified, and I'll see you in the next step of this tutorial. To deposit some crypto assets onto the platform, you'll find a deposit button here on the home page. You'll also see one up here, top right hand side of the screen. And if you hover over assets, you'll see a deposit button right here. Click on any one of those, and that's going to bring you over here to the crypto deposit form. Of course, choose the crypto you wish to deposit by clicking on this box here, selecting it from this list, or searching for it in the search bar. Then, of course, choose a network that you wish to use to make your deposit, and match it to wherever you're sending the crypto from, whether that's another exchange or a wallet. Remember, it's important to always make sure that the network matches on both sides. You don't want to send from one network and into another, or you will lose your crypto. Now, if anybody needs additional help on how to make a deposit onto the platform, I'd cover this in more detail in my Toobit step-by-step beginner tutorial. And I'll be sure to leave a link to that video in the description down below for anyone that might find that helpful. In this video, my intention is to focus on the futures trading. Before trading on the futures market, we'll have to transfer our tether from our spot account and into our futures account. And this is simply an internal transfer, so there's no fees to get this done. So to transfer our tether, we're going to come up here to where it says assets. In this drop-down menu, we'll click here on spot account. And this will bring us into the dashboard of our spot account. You'll find a transfer button right over here next to withdraw. So we'll go ahead and give that a click. Then you'll get this little pop-up window where you can internally transfer between your accounts. And as I mentioned before, there's no fees to get this done. You can see in my case here, I'm already set up to transfer from spot and into futures. If I wasn't, I'd click on this box here, select spot from the drop-down menu, then I'd click on this box here and select futures. We can see here under currency that I'm already set up to tether, so that looks good. And down here in this box, we'll choose how much tether we want to transfer from spot and into futures. You'll be able to see your available balance right here, so you'll know exactly what you're working with. So if I wanted to do a custom amount, I could type it in. But if you want to transfer everything, just click here on all, then click on confirm. And success, I just transferred that tether from spot and into my futures account. If you're ready to trade, you can always click right here on trade. But for now, I'm just going to click here on cancel. And now when we come up here to assets, come down here, click on futures. We can now see the tether is in my futures account. So now I'm ready to trade some futures on the futures market. To get into the futures market and view the different pairings, we can come right up here where it says derivatives. And in this drop-down menu, we'll simply click right here where it says USDTM. And this will bring you into the futures market user interface, where you can go long and short on various different crypto assets. You'll likely be getting this pop-up window here, asking you to select a preference. In this tutorial, we're going to be selecting I'm an advanced trader. That way we have access to more professional tools and efficiency when using the platform. And I'm just going to go ahead and close this box out right here. Now to view the pairings, we can do that by coming right up here, top left-hand side. You'll see in my case where it says BTC USDT. Just hover your mouse over top of that, and you're going to get a drop-down menu with all the different pairings displayed down below. Simply click on a pairing that you wish to trade. Alternatively, you can search for one in the search bar right here. So I'll just type in the ticker for Ethereum, which is ETH, and we can see ETH versus USDT right here. So if I click on that and close it out, you can see I just changed the pairing to Ethereum versus Tether. So now I can go long or short on Ethereum. If I want to get back to Bitcoin, we'll click on the pairings again. I'll just go ahead and type in BTC, which is the ticker for Bitcoin. There it is there. We'll give it a click. And now we're back to Bitcoin versus Tether. So now I'm ready to go long or short on Bitcoin. Again, just simply choose a pairing that you wish to trade. Now, if you're already an experienced trader, or you've seen any of my other exchange tutorials, you're likely already familiar with the user interface. But if this is your first time seeing this, all good. This is a beginner's tutorial, so I'm going to take a minute and break all of this down for you. And we'll start right here with the price action chart. The first thing I like to do is make sure it's set to trading view. We can see that it already is right here, but if it's not, just click on trading view. By doing that, that's going to give you access to some drawing tools as well as basic indicators from trading view, which I'll be covering here shortly. So the price action chart is showing us the asset's performance over a selected time frame. You'll be able to find your time frames top left-hand side of the chart. You can see in my case here, I'm currently set to a 15-minute time frame. That means each one of these candlesticks down below represents 15 minutes of time. If you want to change the time frame, just click on the time frame you wish to view. For example, we can come up here and click on the 4 hour. Now I've switched the chart to a 4-hour time frame. Now each candlestick down below represents 4 hours of time. Now you can also choose some favorite time frames that you wish to have on display at all times. To do that, we'll click right here on More. We'll get this little drop down, and you can see all the time frames here that I have highlighted. If you want to get rid of a time frame or add a time frame to favorites, just come up here and click on Edit. And here's where you can edit your time frames. So if I want to, I can get rid of the hourly, I can get rid of the weekly, we can add a 5-minute, and we can add a 2-hour. Now I'll go ahead and click on Save. And as you can see, I just adjusted my favorite time frames that are now on display at all times at the top left-hand side of the chart. Over here in the left-hand side of the chart is where you'll find your drawing tools. And next to each drawing tool is a tiny little arrow. If you click on that, it'll expand into a drop-down menu where you'll find additional drawing tools. You can add a drawing tool to the chart by simply left-clicking on the drawing tool that you wish to use. So for example, I'll come down here and I'll grab a horizontal line. I'll be using these in this tutorial. Now you can see I'm set to horizontal line right here, so we'll left-click on that. Now I've selected a horizontal line. So now I can come over here to the chart and I can left-click to add it, just like this. If I want to move that horizontal line, I can hold down left-click over top of the line itself, and I can drag it up if I want to, like so. And if I want to delete it altogether, I can click on this trash icon in this tab over here, or I can right-click on the horizontal, and in this drop-down menu, click here on Remove. Now there's simply too many drawing tools for me to go over in this tutorial. We'd be here all day. But in the future, I do plan on making some tutorials about drawing tools, as well as indicators, and maybe building a playlist on my YouTube channel. So feel free to hit subscribe and watch out for those videos. If you'd like to add an indicator to the chart, we'll come right up here, we'll click on this little icon here. You'll get this pop-up window here, and you can scroll through these with the wheel of your mouse. And these are basic indicators from TradingView. You can left-click on an indicator to add it to the chart. Alternatively, you can search for one in the search bar. So for example, let's do the RSI. I'll just type it in like this. I can see the relative strength index right here, so I'll left-click on that, close out this box. Now as you can see, I just added the RSI to the bottom of the chart. If I want to get rid of it, we'll come over here and click on this little X. And the RSI is gone, as easy as that. Right here, you'll see there's a little line. If you hold down left-click, you can drag this down, giving you a better view of the chart, or you can drag it up, giving you a better view of the volume. Personally, I like to drag it down a little bit, just like this, but certainly adjust that to your preference. You may also notice this little tab right here, and this is used for executing market orders really quick. Personally, I like to use the order panel for executing all my trades. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on this little X and remove that tiny tab. And right next to the chart is where you'll find the order book. And the order book is showing you where market participants have placed their orders at. And they're doing that by using limit orders, which I'll be demonstrating in this tutorial. Shorting an asset means you're betting on the price to go down, and longing an asset means you're betting on the price to go up. So in the order book here in red, we have the price points where market participants have placed their orders to open a short position or their take profit on their long position. Down here in green, these are the price points that market participants have placed their orders to open a long position or their take profit on their short position. This price point in the middle of the order book is what's known as the mid price. So all these orders up above are greater than the mid price, and all these orders down below are less than the mid price. When a trader comes along and executes a market order, they're matched up with the best available price off the order book, and the trade is executed immediately. And I'll be demonstrating market orders in this tutorial as well. If you want to see trades being executed in real time, you can come right up here, click on trades next to order book. And here's where you'll see all the trades happening in real time. All the buys coming in green, all the sells coming in red. In the price column, you can see the price point the trade was executed at, and in the size column, you can see the size of the trade that went through. When you want to get back to your order book, just click right here on order book. And next to the order book is where you'll find the order panel, where you can go long or short on an asset using market orders, limit orders, and you can set up trigger orders as well. You'll also notice your margin mode is right here, and your leverage is right here. And I'm going to cover that in detail here shortly. And right above the chart is where you'll find the funding rate. You can see at the time of making this video that there's a positive funding rate of 0.01%. That means any traders holding a long position are paying that funding rate to traders holding short positions. If you ever see a negative funding rate, that means traders holding short positions are paying the funding rate to traders holding long positions. And you can see that the funding rate has a countdown period. So in this case here, there's about 7.5 hours remaining. When that countdown timer reaches 0, traders will settle up the funding rate. So if this is still a positive funding rate, when the countdown gets to 0, traders holding longs will be paying that funding rate to traders holding shorts. If that funding rate is negative by the time this countdown reaches 0, then traders holding shorts will be paying that funding rate to traders holding longs. Now, it's always a good idea to pay attention to this funding rate, because if you ever see a really high funding rate, that means that it's becoming quite expensive to hold on to positions. And sometimes you'll see a really high funding rate at an inflection point in the market. Now, a 0.01% funding rate is not a very high funding rate. That's pretty normal. So I wouldn't consider that funding rate a canary in the coal mine. But always pay attention. If you ever see a high funding rate, not only is it getting expensive to hold on to positions, but it could be indicative that the market is about to move in the other direction. You can change your margin mode by clicking right here on cross in your order panel. Then you'll get this pop-up window here where you can toggle between cross and isolated margin. And you'll be able to see a brief description of each margin mode as well. But in a nutshell, cross margin means that Toobit is going to use your entire futures account balance as collateral across all of your open positions. So if you get liquidated when you're using cross margin, you're going to lose your entire account balance. Now, in some cases, cross margin can also help prevent getting liquidated. For example, let's imagine that you have 2 trades open. You have a long position on Bitcoin and a long position on Ethereum. So you're betting on the price of those assets to go up. Let's imagine in this scenario that your Bitcoin position is going up and it's becoming profitable, but your Ethereum position is going against you and you're taking a loss on your Ethereum position. Temporarily, your profits on your Bitcoin position will be offsetting your losses on your Ethereum position. So in some cases, cross margin can also help prevent liquidation. The big takeaway is just understand that if you do get liquidated on cross margin, you'll lose your entire account balance. On isolated margin mode, only what you put into a specific trade as collateral is used as collateral. So all your trades are independent from one another. So if one of your trades gets liquidated, you'll only lose the collateral that you put into that position, not your entire account balance, unless you put your entire account balance into one particular trade. But you can always set stop losses to prevent getting liquidated as well. And I'll be showing you how to set up stop losses in this tutorial. Being that this is a beginner's tutorial, I'll go ahead and switch us over to isolated margin mode just by clicking on it. And then I'll click on confirm. Now, when we come back up here to the order panel, you can see that I've changed the margin mode to isolated margin. Now, both these margin modes certainly have their benefits, and maybe I'll put together a quick tutorial in the future on how to trade using cross margin. But for this tutorial, I'll be using isolated margin mode. And right here, you'll see your leverage. By default, mine's set to 50x. Now, in my opinion, that is a lot of leverage. Yes, leverage can maximize your gains, but it's more important to understand that leverage also maximizes your losses and can get you completely liquidated. And the higher your leverage, the easier it is to get liquidated. It can happen faster than a fart in a hurricane, especially when markets get really volatile and you're trading an altcoin or something to that effect. That's not to say that there isn't traders out there that are profitable with high amounts of leverage, but if you're a beginner, it's most important to understand the risks of high leverage. To change your leverage, just simply click on it. You'll get this pop-up window here, and here's where you can adjust your leverage by using the slider bar right here. And you can also just type it into this box here. So for example, let's go to 2x leverage. On isolated margin mode, 2x leverage would mean that I can put on position sizes 2 times greater than the collateral needed to open the position. If I was to switch this to 5x, now that means I can put on position sizes 5 times greater than the collateral needed to open the position. If you're using cross margin, 5x leverage would mean that you can put on trades 5 times greater than your account size. If I put this back to 2x and we were using cross margin, that would mean I can put on position sizes 2 times greater than my account size. But of course, I'm on isolated margin mode. So I'm going to set this to 2x, come down here and click on OK. Now when we come back up here to the order panel, you can see that the margin mode is now set to isolated and I'm using 2x leverage. And I'll explain a little bit more about this as I'm demonstrating trades. First, I'll demonstrate trades using a market order. And these order types are nice and simple. They'll execute immediately at the best available price off the order book. Whether you're opening a position to go long, betting on the price to go up, or opening a position to go short, betting on the price to go down. To use a market order, we'll come over here to the order panel and we'll click right here on market. Next, we need to choose the size of the position that we wish to open, and we can do that in this box right here. Now you'll see in my case here that this box is currently quoted in BTC, which is the underlying asset that I'm trading. But I'll point out that if you click right there, you'll get this pop-up window, and you can now change it to order by nominal value, USDT, or you can change it to order by cost, USDT. Let's go ahead and use order by nominal value, and we'll click on OK. Now when we come back over here, you'll see this box is now quoted in Tether. You'll be able to see your available balance right here, so you'll know exactly what you're working with. So if I want to, I can type in a custom size here. We can go, say, 100 Tether. And if we come down here, we'll be able to see the details. You can see that the margin that I'm using is 47.6 of my own Tether to open a position size of 100 Tether. And that's because I'm set to 2x leverage. If I was set to 5x leverage, this would be closer to about 20 Tether of margin. Now I'll also point out that you can just use the slider bar as well. So if I was to slide this up to say 50%, that's going to put 50% of my available balance into this position. If I slid this up to 100%, that's going to put 100% of my available balance into this position. And as you can see, right here, my max long would be $426, and my account balance is only $213. And once again, that's because I'm using 2x leverage. But for this demonstration, let's just go ahead and type in 100 Tether, and I'll demonstrate by opening a long position, so betting on the price to go up. So now that I have my long position set up the way that I want it, I'm going to come down here and click on Buy Long. Now we'll get this pop-up window here where we can confirm the details of our position. So make sure everything is what you intended. Now if you come down here, you'll notice that there's a liquidation price of $45,138 approximately. So this means that if the price of Bitcoin goes against me and falls all the way down to $45,138, this position is going to get liquidated, and I'll be losing all the collateral that I put into the position to open it. Now here's a quick tip with this. The more leverage that you use, the closer your liquidation price is going to be to your entry price. Now I'll quickly show you that. So if I close this out, we'll come back up here to leverage. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll just adjust this to 10x leverage, just for the purposes of demonstration. Now I'll click on OK. We're going to come back over here to size. I'll leave this set to 100. You'll notice here that the margin required now is only 9.5 Tether. That's because I'm on 10x. But when I click on buy and we get our order confirmation pop-up window, you'll notice that the liquidation price came all the way up to 85,129, which isn't too far away from 93,000. So if Bitcoin was to go against me on this trade and hit 85,000, this position will be liquidated and I'll be losing all the margin that I put into this position. So as you can see, the more leverage that you use, the easier it is to get liquidated. So good consideration when choosing the amount of leverage that you wish to trade with. So I'm just going to cancel this out. I'm going to come back up here. Let's switch that leverage back down to 2x. Like this. We're going to click on OK. Now let's come over here. I'm going to click on Buy Long. The details look as I intended, so I'm going to come down here and click on Open Long. And just like that, I opened a long position at the best available price off the order book, and that trade was executed immediately. If we come over here to the chart, you can actually see it in this box right here. I'm just going to go ahead and make this yellow, and let's go ahead and make that a little thicker as well. You'll also be able to see the details of your open position if you come down here, and make sure you're set to the position tab. And here's where you'll see the details of your open position. You'll be able to see your unrealized P&L right here. So in my case, I'm getting absolutely wrecked at the moment. And over here, you'll see your liquidation price. Of course, my liquidation price currently is $46,691. If you'd like to add a take profit and a stop loss to your position that's already open, you can come right over here under TPSL and click here on Add. In this pop-up window here, you can set a take profit level as well as a stop loss. So just for the purposes of demonstration, let's imagine that I'm targeting 100,000 for a take profit level. So I'll come right to this box here that says stop price under take profit, and we'll type in 100,000. So if the price of Bitcoin was to rise to 100,000, this trade will be closed, and I'll be securing a small profit of approximately 6 USDT. Now let's go ahead and set up a stop loss. And just for fun, let's imagine that I want to set my stop loss at 89,000. Let's type it in. So this means if the price of Bitcoin falls to 89,000, it's going to hit that price point, and I'll be stopped out in a small loss. If I scroll down a little bit, you can see that I'd be taking a loss of about 4.9 tether. But once you have your take profit and stop loss set up the way that you want it, just come down here, click on confirm. And now I've added a take profit as well as a stop loss to my open position. And you can see that now under TPSL. You can see my 100,000 take profit and my 89,000 stop loss. Now, if at any point you want to close a position manually, you'll find your options to do so right over here. You can close at market by giving that a click. You can come up to this box right here. You can choose if you want to close some of the position or all of the position. And then you'd simply click on close long. That would immediately close this position. Or we can come over here, click on reversals. What that's going to do is it's going to close this long position and open the same position size and leverage in the other direction. So if I was to click on reversal, this long position would be closed and I'd be immediately entered into a short position of the same position size and leverage. If you want to close this right away, you can always click on flash close, just like this. Very similar to a market. This is going to close the entire position. You'll be able to see your estimated P&L. So now I'm taking a massive win here of 11 cents worth of tether. So I better close this really quick. So let's come down here and click on close long. And just like that, I closed that trade in a very small profit. As simple as that. Now I'll do one more market demonstration, but this time I'll show you how you can add your take profit and stop loss while you're opening the position. So to get this done, we're going to come back up here to the order panel. We'll make sure we're set to market. Now we'll choose the size of the position. I'll just go ahead and do 100 tether again. Now before opening this trade, I'm going to click right here on TPSL. Now I can add a take profit as well as a stop loss. And for this demonstration, I'll open a short position betting on the price to go down. So let's quickly head over here to the chart. And let's just imagine, for the purposes of demonstration, that I think Bitcoin's going to pull back a little bit further here. Maybe I'm looking at this little pivot right down here. So let's go ahead and mark that out. Let's grab a horizontal here from the drawing tools. I'm going to go ahead and mark that pivot, just like so. Now when I look on the y-axis of the chart, I can see a price point that's correlated to that pivot, coming in at 87,352. And just for the purposes of demonstration, let's imagine that I'm targeting that level as my take profit on my short position. So we'll come back over here, we'll type that into take profit. We'll go 87,352. Now let's go ahead and set a stop loss. So we'll come back over here to the chart. I'm going to zoom it in with the wheel of my mouse. And let's just imagine that I want to set a stop loss somewhere just above this wick right here. Maybe I'm thinking to myself that if price gets up above this wick, that perhaps I'm wrong on this trade idea and I want to get the heck out of the way before I get totally wrecked. So let's go ahead and grab another horizontal here from the drawing tools. Let's mark a spot somewhere just above that wick. Maybe something like this. Good enough for this demonstration. Now I can see a price point on the y-axis of the chart coming at 96,563. I'm going to go ahead and set my stop loss at that price point. So we'll come back over here and we'll type that into stop loss. We'll go 96,568. Now that I have my order set up the way that I want it, I'm going to come down here and click on sell short. Once again, we'll get our order confirmation window here. So now we can confirm the details are what we intended. And this time you can see that there's a take profit order right here that's going to be set at 87,352. And we can see my stop loss market order set at 96,568. We can see the liquidation price here coming in at 142,000, but I don't have to worry about that this time because I have a stop loss that's going to be triggered well before price ever reaching that price point. So this looks good to me. I'm going to come down here and click on open short. And that short position filled immediately at the best available price off of the order book. And my take profit and stop loss was added the moment I opened that position. Now, if we come down here, You'll notice that it says open orders here. If we click on that and click here on TPSL, here's where we can see that take profit and stop loss. If at any point you want to cancel those, you can just come down here. You can click on cancel next to the take profit or stop loss that you wish to cancel, or you can click right here on revoke all. Come up here, click on confirm. I just canceled the take profit as well as the stop loss. And if I want to close this trade manually, we can actually come up here to the chart. I'll point out that you have a little X inside this box. If you click on that, this gives you the option to close the position at market. And from here, I can just click on close short. And I just closed that trade at the best available price off of the order book. So those are the various ways that you can close a position manually. Of course, you can always click on the position tab. Then you'll find your cancel options over here on the right hand side for any position that you might have open. And that's how you can use a market order. Now I'll demonstrate a limit order. And these order types give you the ability to choose a price point that you wish to place an order to open a long position, or a price point that you want to place an order to open a short position. But you will need the price of the asset to reach your limit price before your order is going to fill and enter you into a trade. To get this done, we're going to come up here to the order panel. We're going to click here on limit. In this box right here, we can choose a price point that we wish to place an order at. And I'll demonstrate with a long order first, so betting on the price to go up. So let's quickly head over here to the chart. And let's imagine that I'm bullish on Bitcoin, but maybe I think it's going to pull back just a little bit further before it continues moving to the upside. Maybe when I look left on this chart, I'm thinking to myself that perhaps price action comes somewhere down around this pivot right here. So let's go ahead and mark that the horizontal. I'll grab it from the drawing tools here, bring it over, and we'll left click on that pivot like so. Now I can see a price point on the y-axis of the chart coming in at 87,129. And for this demonstration, I'll place an order at that price point for a long position. So we'll come over here to the order panel and I'm going to type that into price. We'll go 87,129. Now we'll choose the size of the order we wish to place. I'll just do 100 tether again like this. And now that I have my long order set up the way that I want it, I'm going to come down here and click on buy long. Now I'm getting my order confirmation window here. So confirm the details are what you intended. And if they are, come down here and click on open long. Now I've just placed that order onto the order book to open a long position at 87,129. And we can now see that marked on the chart inside this green box right here. So if Bitcoin does pull back, coming down, hitting 87,129, this order is going to fill and enter me into a long position. You can see the details of your open orders if you come down here and click on open orders. Then click here on limit market order. And here's where you'll see the details of your orders that you have resting on the order book. At any point, if you want to cancel these, just come over here on the right hand side. You can click on cancel. If you have more than one and want to cancel all of them, click on revoke all. And alternatively, you can come up here to the chart and you can click on this little X inside this green box. Just like this. And as simple as that, I just removed that order off of the order book. And of course, you can always use a limit order to open a short position as well. So I'll quickly demonstrate that, but this time I'll show you how to add a take profit and a stop loss while you're placing your order. So we'll come back over here to the order panel and we'll click here on limit. Now I need to choose a price point to open my short position. So let's head over here to the chart, and just for the purposes of demonstration, let's imagine that I'm looking at this pivot point on the market right here. Maybe I think Bitcoin's going to pop up somewhere around that area, hit resistance, and then move to the downside. And maybe I want to try to place an order to open a short position somewhere around that pivot. So once again, let's go ahead and grab a horizontal here from the drawing tools, and I'll mark that pivot out, something like this. Now I can see a price point on the y-axis of the chart coming at 99,462. So I'm going to come over here to price and I'm going to type that in. We'll go 99,462. Now I'll choose the size of the trade I wish to open if that price point gets hit. And I'll just do 100 tether again. Now if I want to add a take profit and stop loss, if this order was to fill, we can do that by checking this box right here. We can put our take profit in here and our stop loss in here. And for the purpose of demonstration, let's imagine that I'm targeting this horizontal down here with the price point of 87,129 as my take profit. I'll go ahead and type that in. We'll go 87,129. Now let's go ahead and set a stop loss. So we'll come back over here to the chart. I'll zoom in a little bit. Let's imagine that I want to set a stop loss somewhere just above this breakdown area right here, just for the purpose of demonstration. So I'll go ahead and grab a horizontal here, and we'll mark a spot slightly above that, maybe something like this. Of course, choose stop losses and take profits that are appropriate for your trade idea. I'm just simply demonstrating. Now we can see a price point on the y-axis at 103,273. So let's come down here to stop loss and we'll type that in. We'll go 103,273. Now that I have my short order set the way that I want it, I'm going to come down here and click on sell short. Now we can confirm the details, and we can see right here, if this order fills, that I'm going to be adding a take profit at 87,129 and a stop loss at 103,273. Looks good. So I'm going to come down here, click on open short. Now I've placed that short order onto the order book, and of course we can see that inside this red box right here. So if the price of Bitcoin was to come up and hit 99,462, this short order is going to fill and I'll be in my position. If that order fills, a stop loss will immediately be added at 103,273 and a take profit will be added at 87,129. So for this trade idea to work out, I need the price of Bitcoin to come up, fill my order, reject, and then move down to 87,129, and I'd be taking profit, and that'd be a successful trade. If the price of Bitcoin comes up, fills my order here at 99,462, but keeps going, I'll be stopped out right here at 103,273 for a small loss. If I want to cancel this order, I'll come down here, click on open orders, click on limit market, and over here on the right hand side, let's just go ahead and click on cancel. And I just canceled that order to open a short position, and that also canceled my take profit and stop loss at the same time. So that's how you can use a limit order as well as set up take profits and stop losses. And there you have it, your introduction to trading futures on Toobit. If you got some value out of that, don't forget to leave me a like and hit subscribe for future content. Also feel free to check out some other Toobit tutorials, which I put together in a playlist on my YouTube channel. Thanks so much for coming by and checking out this video. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one. And until I do, have yourself a powerful day.